This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your
Jimmy! Ricky! You! Smack Attack!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Smack Attack. We are live on Hummy Media Group's YouTube channel and of course channelattitude.com after the fact. I am your host Jimmy T. He is my co-host R to the B to the V. And Rick, welcome back to your show, the Smack Attack. And what's happening, bro? How you been?
Jimmy T, hey, you know the first rule in entertainment, always keep them waiting, keep them wanting more. Hey, that's what we were doing. We had that teaser a little late out of the gate this morning. Technical difficulties, but hey, baby, we are ready. You got to stay liquid. You got to be able to stay moving and grooving. That's what me and Jimmy T do, baby. That's what we do here on the Smack Attack. Lot to cover, little time, big day, big events on the way.
Absolutely, Rick. And it was the go home show to Backlash, of course. We got Backlash tonight. You know what, man? I felt this SmackDown was not bad for a go-home show. There was a few things that they tied up, and I think that's kind of interesting, man, in my opinion.
I thought it was rather unique I got here in my notes a question. Did they do enough on this episode to sell the PLE? Because really all we got for the PLE was the sandwich with the bookend. We opened up with some PLE business, we closed with some PLA business, and in between, there was a lot going on for the Blue brand. We've got surprise returns. We've got number one contenders. We've got a pissed off queen, and we have got mayhem in Little Mexico. New developments, new stories on SmackDown. As we said, man, we're going to jump right in to the Blue brand. And then Jimmy, you've been hot this week, man. You've been hot for about a week, man. A negative Nelly down there, down under. We're going to need you to get excited, man. We're going to tell people why they should be excited. Be looking forward to Backlash this evening.
Yeah, it's funny, man, because my mood today is completely the opposite from last week. Last week, I was very annoyed, shall I say, with some things in professional wrestling. But this week, I'm just chilled, man. I think they've done enough to get me kind of, I don't want to say hyped. I'm not hyped for Backlash, but you know what? I'm kind of looking forward to watching it anyway, because I know the one thing that WWE always do well is actually put on a good PLE, and I know for a fact that it'll be a good show anyway. It shouldn't be too bad.
I think one thing we do have to realize, and we'll get some of our, we'll say our not negative, but criticisms or questions out of the way in this portion of the show, because I want to keep it upbeat. I want to keep it positive for that Backlash hype. But you look at the calendar until we get to SummerSlam. There's a lot of events to be had there. I mean, we've got Money in the Bank, which is a big one. Are they down there with you guys in Perth before then as well? We got Saturday night's main events. Oh, okay. So that's way past SummerSlam. Right. But there is a lot that we've got to get in for big events between SummerSlam. So I think what we are going to see is what they're mixing, they're going to sprinkle in. So this PLE here is really being sold on 2 matches. And there's only 5 announced. So obviously we've got the hometown hero, Randy Orton, going after John Cena, the main event, and the Gunther Pat Mac. Yeah, that's your big ones, and then the rest of it, we're going to talk about that card and all that. They're good talking points, but they're keeping other stories going on. We've got a lot of our big superstars not on the show. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. So I think we're going to get those sprinkled throughout. Little bits and pieces that one or two drawing power for each of these marquee shows, and some nice strong undercards.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you pointed that out, actually, Rick, because I didn't think of that. I forgot for a minute that we're not going to have Seth Rollins, we're not going to have Punk and whatnot on the actual PLE. But you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. I think
spread it out.
Right, exactly. So I'm cool with that, man. Absolutely cool with that. But before we do get into SmackDown, though, Rick, there's been some. I feel like we need to touch on this. Did you hear about all the hoopla between AEW and WWE, or more particularly between NXT and AEW? And I'm talking about Ricochet and oh my god, and Javon Evans, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I just missed this. This wasn't big news to me. What he called Tony a crackhead.
Oh, God. I can't believe he actually said that publicly, though, dude. Like that.
He got caught. He got caught in a moment. He's been reprimanded. I guess they're doing some kind of social media training now, which I'm surprised that wasn't there in some form earlier. They probably was there. Now they're just having a reminder, a little more on the heavy. The kid from NXT, Evans, probably shouldn't have engaged in any of the exchange. One, I mean, who are you getting over with? I mean, you're drawing the same fan base from NXT to AEW. They're the same goddamn people watching their shows. And like it or not, kid, there's only so many spots in WWE. You're undersized. You only got so much for a storyline. So you one of these days you might need a damn job from Tony Khan.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big rookie mistake by him. And actually, funny enough, the first thing I said when I saw that,
or him and Ricochet might be boys, and it's just going back and forth. They're just ribbing everybody.
No, Ricochet is playing, man. He played, and literally Evans took the bait like hook, line, and sinker, dude. And I knew for a fact the second he wrote that about calling Tony a crackhead, I'm like, the first thing I said, has he deleted his comment yet? That was the first thing. And funny enough, Ben actually responded to my comment that says he actually has. I'm like, well, there you go. Because I don't care. I mean, I know he's young, man, but come on, man. Can't you just think for a moment? You don't blackball yourself, literally. And that's essentially what he's doing, because there's no way now Tony would ever hire him.
Well, if there's money to be made.
I don't know, man. Even that, I don't think Tony cares.
Nah, that would be one of those things that Vince McMahon would put in the back of his mind. He'd file that away, and then years later, hire that son of a bitch just to bury him, just to embarrass them. That's
funny. Well,
so, hey, you never know how it's going to work. So I just missed it, a stupid comment. And then, like I said, it could just be a big work. I've done it here locally. Me and my good buddy, JT Storm, people around here in the local wrestling thing thought we hated each other for about a year. And we would sit there, we would go out, get a beer, manufacture shit we were going to talk about each other.
That's funny.
And then someone caught us out drinking a beer. They're like, wait a minute, we thought you guys hated each other. And we were just using it to kind of help a promotional thing going.
Come on, Rick. You go out of town, man, when you do that shit.
Oh, yeah, that indie money. We got all that expendable freaking travel funds.
Come on, man. But you know what, man? Really, other than that, that's really like, there hasn't been much news this past week. To be fair, since the releases, it's been very quiet, man.
Yeah, Tiger Talk and releases. What a big news. A lot to talk about on SmackDown now.
There is. And actually, let's just get straight into it, man, because we are also doing a Backlash review show right after Backlash, 15 minutes after, around that time.
We've got plenty of content for the army out there. Just a reminder, you got us this morning. Hey, between now and then, when we get done, share the link, because it'll be up there for a little bit. You can catch it anytime over at Channel Attitude. Let's go, Brandon. He's going to be bringing the live watch along for, what is it, Backlash? I was going to say Money in the Bank, Backlash. And then we're going to be coming back at you later this evening to close it out with the official breakdown and review show of everything that unfolds. Hey, here's something interesting. Just for Backlash real quick, Jimmy. Paz and I were talking this morning, Hey, a little teaser. Teaser. We
When
might
is
have
that due,
a
actually?
pause appearance later on tonight on the review. But
Oh, that'd be great.
start time tonight, everybody, 7 p.m. Eastern, which seems a little odd to me because that's 6 p.m. local time in St. Louis. Seems early.
Yeah, I mean, what's with WWE lately, to be honest?
Is there a UFC event afterwards
yeah,
that they don't want to?
There is,
Okay.
dude. There is actually. But that's tomorrow, though.
The UFC, not on a Sunday.
I'm pretty sure it's on
It's
a
gotta
Sunday.
be tonight.
They can't be on, like, at the same time, right? No way.
Well, maybe that's why they're starting the wrestling earlier, so that when you get to the big fights on the UFC, that it's later on. So I don't know. I just thought it was weird that a 6 p.m. PLE start time local in St. Louis just seemed a little strange to me. But
I'm gonna look.
hey, that's all right, babe. Hey, 7 p.m. start, 5 matches. We should be out 2.5 hours, 3 hours. You know?
Yeah, 100%. And I like that. That's a good thing about WWE, man. These days, they haven't been like dragging out the PLEs. They seem like a fun, like quick sort of event these days. You know what I mean? And just quietly, I think you're right, Rick. Saturday 7th. Oh no. It's not. It's wrong. That's next month. I can't see what day it's on, man. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow.
It's not on a Sunday. UFC is not running on a Sunday. I will, if they're running on a Sunday, I will eat this fucking can.
Why?
I will jam my dick in the top of that thing. That's how positive I am.
You're a character.
But anyway, Jimmy T, Hameen Army, let's jump into it. Let's go blue balls deep into this week's SmackDown review. Of course, they're coming to us right up the road from where I'm sitting at the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. Place was rocking. A lot of local indie wrestling representation there in the house. Said it was a good energy, a good buzz throughout the evening. And as like we said, man, there was a lot going on. We got surprise returns. We got number one contenders. We have got some new feuds coming up. Maybe some potential storylines down the road that are starting to unfold. And as Jimmy said, we had that go home. They sandwiched this thing with the teasers, the build to Backlash. We're going to jump into it. We do open up here, Jimmy. I don't want to do a whole lot of time here because I want to save this conversation because this is part of the good stuff, the meat of today's show. But we open up the show backstage.
I just want to say,
we got
you're right.
Knight and Damian Priest. On what?
On the UFC.
I'm always right, but what about this certain time?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to. It's in Montreal, by the way.
Okay, so yeah, so they just want people to be able to tune in to each of those. So we got LA Knight, Damian Priest talking, if they can trust each other tonight, because they're going to be a tag team action. It's going to get the show flowing as Damian Priest, LA Knight going to be taking on. We got the Bloodline 2.0, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sakai. Tag match itself goes down. We'll save a little bit of this one. We'll save this stuff because I want to keep this for the hype for Backlash, but this is a little bit of our build here. Good tag team match to get us going. Again, we'll touch on that. Priest and Knight go over. We got some post-match shenanigans that I want you guys saw it. You watched it. I want you to think about what that means for the representation to what these guys are going to be representing, the roles they're going to be playing when we get into a conversation about that four-way. But she's back. The master, the entertainer, Chelsea Green and her crew are in Aldous' locker room, and they're holding a memorial. They are deep in grievance here, Jimmy T, over the loss of the United States Championship. I especially like how they've just invaded Aldous' office, and he's like, she's like, you don't understand. You need to let us go. Leave us alone. He's like, well, you're in my office. What the hell? So they've just invaded.
Get the hell out.
Selena Vega comes in and enters. Yeah.
By the way, just before you continue, do you feel like we could get a hot mess over this belt, if you know what I mean?
No, I still think, I'm intrigued. This was one of those where I don't want to overanalyze where they're going. Chelsea is so good at her stuff. I like kicking back, relaxing, and enjoying the ride.
True, I agree. That's true. I just feel like they don't be surprised if they go down that direction, though.
It could. I mean, where she's just pushed to the brink of insanity over the loss of this championship and unable to get it back. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Snaps.
I wouldn't be opposed.
That'd be cool.
You know, she's doing good things. I want her to keep evolving going forward. So that means not going backwards with her. But the WWE universe has never seen that side of her, and she was so good at it.
And that's why I'm intrigued by it. I wonder how good it would be on a way bigger, scale.
Right. That's, a lot of people talking about that with Rusev comparison on Raw. They're like, oh, he's just doing the Redeemer from AEW. Well, like triple the amount of people are going to see this time.
Yeah. Facts. Absolutely.
Right. So as Chelsea is in grieving and the Secret Hervis is there, Zelina Vega joins the scene. And she says, Vega just doesn't get it. She doesn't have any friends. She doesn't have people around her to care about her. And Vega's like, oh, what? She happens to have somebody. And if Chelsea and Piper would like to team up, then Vega and her friend will see them in the ring later on that night. So we have the setup from earlier tonight. And we get our first big pop of the night. We've got Chelsea Green, Piper Niven. They're in the ring. They're awaiting Vega, who's made her entrance. But who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? She gets the big point. And from right up the road in Dayton, big home state homecoming, Alexa Bliss is back in action. Big pop for the return of the blister. Were you surprised? Were you popping? Yes. Pop that blister, baby.
She was over like Rova. And of course, she's in her home state of Ohio, so it makes total sense. But even that, she looks so good, man, considering she just had a kid as well, and she doesn't even look any different.
Like a year ago.
I know, but what kept her out even longer? Was she even injured after that?
They didn't have anything to do
complications.
For her. They didn't have anything.
I think there was complications. Oh no, that was Carmella. Actually, I'm getting confused with, not with Bliss. But
there was a complication. The complication was they didn't want to re-sign her. But with Bliss, they just didn't have anything. They had a couple teases. They used her for those big surprise moments, but they didn't have anything firm creatively for her.
Do you like how she's still that sort of Wyatt-esque character, or would you rather go back to the OG Alexa Bliss?
I got a feeling right now they're sitting on some merch, so they're still selling those dolls, things like that. That is the most familiar version of her. There's people still in speculation that she still might have something to do with this Wyatt Six. I think that ship has sailed inside of itself. There is something here when we get beyond this match that I believe they are teasing that we got from Alexa Bliss that we've actually talked about on air. Even going back to this past week, we talked about it Tuesday morning on I Like It Raw. But Jimmy, so the match itself, pretty much what you'd expect here, right? The heels get some of the dirty work in. They're beating up on the much smaller team. I know there was one series there. Vega in serious trouble inside of the ring. Again, they completely botched 2 hot tags, but I think the hot tag is like an extinct. It's done. Nobody understands how to properly execute it anymore.
What hot tag? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
how does people forget a fundamental of pro wrestling, and not even forget or even understand it? It's a friggin' fundamental, dude, that no one seems to use anymore.
No, I'm with you. And so we miss those, but so you got Vega getting beat down by the heels. If you can fend off the heels by yourself and then make tag, that's not a hot tag. You have to avoid them at all costs and make your way over there. So inside the match, yes, what we expected here, the returning Bliss, the babies pick up the big time win. Chelsea eats and a note, which I think is a nice spot here. Although Green is the star of the group, she is the front runner, the leader of it. Chelsea taking the pin after a big pop for a Sister Abigail.
Yeah, absolutely. And Liz in the chat says, "How are you, Liz? By the way, thank you for joining us." Saying her merch and gear was all specialty made by the guy who did Bray's gear before her return. Oh wow!
I still think it's a familiar look. I don't know. There's too much to tie together with them. I think there's bigger avenues, bigger money to be made with Bliss in other directions than anything to do with the Wyatts right now. I agree. I think people were over expected from the Wyatts. they always said it was kind of a way to write that final chapter, a farewell to Bray's vision. And everyone was expecting like long-term booking. I never got that. I said, just give them a nice send-off.
You can't do long. It's too complicated, man, with the story they want to tell to do in pro wrestling, if that makes sense. That's more suited for television. And when I say television, I'm talking about like literally a series of shows just tailored to that. You know what I mean? I think it goes way over the head to most pro wrestling fans, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for what it was. I mean, it's not made for the long term.
Yeah, it's just not. And just no offense to any of the White Six, but you're putting a whole bunch of less talented peeps together, man. You know what I mean? How are you supposed to get it to work when these guys just can't really cut it? And I'm sorry for saying that. I just think they really can't cut it, man.
Yeah, it appears that it'll be going that way. So we'll see if there's any opportunity. I think, there is some talent there as a group there. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see there. Anyway,
honestly,
we have the babies.
I wouldn't be mad to have Bliss as the leader of the group.
Well, I think it weighs her down. I don't know the direction. What are you going to do with it? You're going to have the guys beating. When you get these big things where you're intermixing the guys and the girls in factions, and then now you're just going to have to generate another group of 6 people with the same pairings for matches. It's just way too forced.
Yeah, no, it is. And plus, they got no one really to go against. What are they going to do? Attack random people all the time? Because?
Hey, you know what's even better than the White Six?
What's
the
that?
Queen? The Queen is back. Her first
go.
time. Her first appearance since going down in defeat, since not being able to capture the women's championship there to defeat Tiffy. But hey, you know what? Charlotte's in a good mood. She is in a good mood. She has taken some time. She has processed everything that happened at WrestleMania, and she has let the people know that the Queen is back. And even though she lost, she's feeling all right. She had a great WrestleMania moment. She beat the living crap out of Tiffy, and she is here with a proclamation. The Queen lets every one of her subjects know that she is ready for another run at Championship Gold. And Jimmy, Dayton in the world, speaks for the world here, I think. Lets her hear about it. And it's an astounding, get the hell out of here.
Get out. I will say this, though, about Charlotte. She actually looked a lot better this week than previously. I will say that.
Hey, they put her where she's at, man. She has been out mingling with the biggest names, the biggest stars, the biggest locations. Caught on the sidelines at the NBA, the paparazzi snapping those photos. Her and A-Rod taking in the NBA playoffs. And man, she's out there with some big wigs, man. She's doing some big biz. And now she's back to WWE for some big biz. And the fans, hey man, they pissed her right off, man. She storms out. She is out of there. You're not gonna give her respect. The Queen's gonna take off.
She even cut him off when I was starting to do the na-na song. Give me that na-na song, as Vince would say. She cut him right off, and then she took off. And then to my surprise, we hear a storm is coming, and Jade Cargill makes her way down, obviously because she's got a matchup. But I found that little interaction pretty interesting.
Here again, we'll tie all this together. We get Jade coming out, and we got this women's gauntlet here to start off SmackDown, and I think there's a lot unfolding here that I really like. So we got the big return. We have the Queen. She is pissed off. We're going to get a new #1 contender. So I think it was very symbolic here, and a lot of teaser. I've seen a lot of fans already talking about when's this match potentially going to happen, but as you've been talking about, Jimmy, and I think that's where we're getting at.
It's a new
It's
era.
the ship's passing, right? Right, brother?
Right.
You got it, man. That changing of the guard, the ears kind of, and this is the ship's passing in the night, brother. And
it's
so,
trippy, dude, because it's true.
So let's go ahead and talk about this before we jump into the match, because we're going to have a #1 contenders, Jade Cargill taking on Nia Jax. They put over on the commentary the 5th time that these two have been in the ring together, but the stakes have never been higher here. One's going to get that grand opportunity at Tiffy. But as Charlotte is continuing to storm out, we see later in the show, She, take me to the airport. Oh, and that door gets slammed, and then we get Miss Bliss again.
Yeah, what's up with that, you think?
She says, we got to talk. We got to talk a little business, right?
Yeah, but that's interesting, though. I wonder where this is going.
Okay, well, you talk about the changing of the guard. What do we have for you? We got all these new girls coming up. Where's Bliss been? She's been sitting at home because they didn't have anything for her. Charlotte's getting disrespected
all over again.
Charlotte's getting disrespected because they want these up-and-comers. They want new blood. They want fresh faces. Charlotte's trying to give them a fresh face every month, but they just won't take it. But, they want new talents. What we talked about a little bit, and I threw this as a suggestion, War Games this year, Survivor Series, it could be the old guard versus the new guard when it comes to the women. So Bliss might want in Charlotte's ear to say, hey, we were the evolution. We were the ones that set the pace. We set the table, so now these young bitches can come eat at it. They're not going to push us out. They're not going to push us out.
Yeah, that's interesting. If they're going that way, which it seems like they are, absolutely, and it's symbolic as well, like you said before. Like it's the legit, change of guard, literally. And I feel like, the older, I wonder if Bailey gets involved here too now. I think at some point they go start recruiting. Right.
And you start looking at this. And I wonder, where, who's going to be after who, or is it after Lyra maybe takes down Becky at some point? We go to Becky.
Interesting, man. I can see. So do you think there could be a little stable even between all the, the older heads in the women's division, but we're talking about the real big stars of the old guard.
And what do? You try to protect your spot.
Right, exactly.
So they're all going to need to come together to protect their spot from all these youngsters coming up.
I just hope we're not overthinking this, because we could easily be overthinking this whole shit, and then we're going to be led down to disappointment. But WWE usually generally know what they're doing when they start doing these little things. You know what I mean? It's not done for nothing. Whereas I feel like AEW, they fluke their things half the time. Like, if that makes sense.
I don't know. My first thought when I saw Alexa tell Charlotte they need to talk was exactly that. Yeah, Bliss has been sitting at home because they don't have anything. They're calling up all these other people. They can't get her matches. They can't get her competitive.
True. Good point. Cold-blooded says in the chat, they'll do what they always do. They'll tell us Alexa and Charlotte have out of nowhere been best friends for years. I don't think they'll do that. I think it's more deeper.
I know what he's saying. I
know. Yeah, I get
exactly. everything. Just like with Seth and Sammy, you never heard anything about those two, but suddenly,
But the thing about them two, they came from the same, indies along the way, so that makes sense. Even though we know they're not exactly the best of friends.
There's someone down the street that I grew up with for 20 years. I don't even know their fucking last name. I don't care about them.
Yeah, but
they don't need to they over exaggerate all of this crap every time they want to get to an emotional. So I think that's where they're going with the ladies here.
Yeah, well, Labrad, I said it last week, man. The New Blood versus fucking the Millionaires Club. I literally said that last week as a joke, and even Gruss says give the Millionaire Club versus the New Blood 2.0, except with women.
Well, it doesn't have to be an exact comparison. It is a story as old as time. You always have that. We have that in the world today. You have Gen X versus the millennials. It's about how society evolves and where we move and people age and they take over responsibilities.
You're right. And I hate, the fact that I'm a millennial and it's very negative in some ways. I hate that stigma of being a millennial.
I'm a D-Generation X.
You're a DX, huh? You degenerate.
Yes, sir. I'm actually Gen X, so I'm good. I'm good. But so we do have the number one contenders match for the ladies, man. Two heavy hitters, the big dogs of the division. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax. Jimmy, what were you expecting, man? I was a little nervous in this one. How?
So was I, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
One, neither one of them is really known as a ring general, but overall, it's harder for heavyweights to work with heavyweights because it's easier when you have somebody smaller that can create that momentum.
Right.
You know, to really showcase the power moves. I was worried when they announced this thing when that bell rang. Sure, you know, it was a little rough at times. They were working their way through, but I kind of like that at certain times where you get that gritty, raw feeling where it actually seems like a fight.
Absolutely, for sure.
You know, when everything is too crisp, that takes me out of it. You know, I've seen anybody out there, like, if you got a problem with people tripping or things like that at certain times, that's a real fight. All right, go live in the fucking real world. Go get drunk. Go talk some shit to someone at a bar. Get your ass kicked. See how it goes down. Okay, not everything's 100%. A crisp floor routine. But I like these two, and I thought it let both of them shine in their spots. Jax, of course, you know, what she's really known for is just hitting those big power moves for us, and Nia's going to give that. It still, though, has lost a little the luster because we see regularly people, you know, that are able to pick up Nia on their shoulders.
I mean, that's true, but you know what, man? You know, other than that, I really enjoyed this match. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it wasn't a barn burner, but it was a hard-hitting affair, dude, between these two women. And I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, man. And the fans saying to Nia she can't wrestle, come on. Come on now. She can go, man.
Plays a role perfect, you know. She's been last couple, you know, the last year and a half, she has been on another level. Like it's really clicked for her. She is doing great. She's tremendous in her role here. Now we do get a bit of a dirty finish. I like this. I really like this finish here. It really shows the mind of Naomi working on that next level as the character. Now she wants to get at Jade. This was an attack at Jade, not necessarily Tiffy, but she's got to be smarter than that. So she doesn't want to just go right at Jade because that just causes the DQ, more confusion. But can she really add that insult to injury by just distracting Jade to cost her the match, unquestionably sending Jax as the number one contender? So when you do that, you use Tiffy, the champion, as a pawn. So as Tiffy is at ringside getting worked up over this thing, see who her next challenger is going to be. Boom! Naomi attacks her, causing a distraction.
I've got a long shot. I feel like this is all going to be woven into the Charlotte storyline too. Think about it. I mean, you got Nia.
Yeah, I think
Naomi,
eventually,
right?
Eventually.
Yeah, I just think it's going to all connect somehow, man. Again, I'm probably overthinking this shit, overbooking this shit, but I feel like it's all going to tie in. And then once we get this, you know, Millionaires Club versus the New Blood again, except in WWE and for women, everything will be like, it would make total sense, I think. But again, I might be thinking way too ahead.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think those are the things that you want because you've got all these wheels going in. Where are they going to touch? Because you've got Naomi, who is part of that old guard.
That's what I'm saying.
In those little Easter eggs, you heard her talking about maybe, you know, she realizes that there's the young pups that are coming. They're hungry. They're talented.
Right.
Maybe it is time, you know, where she looks to start having a kid. But right now, you know, where she's at character-wise, she's on top of her game. It's the best she's ever done. If it ends up, you know, this is her last run, what a way to be remembered, to ride off into that sunset. But inside of this setting, she is still targeted, still set on making Jade's life a living hell. And I think this does more here than her just attacking Jade, because now she's starting to get back in Jade's head.
Right.
Jade took her eye off the prize, and that was because of Naomi, and it cost her.
Absolutely. And that's the story they were trying to tell, obviously, like with Naomi interfering. But again, like I'm intrigued. But this match in itself, I really enjoyed it, man. It was probably my favorite match of the night, actually.
We had a lot of wrestling on this one, but yeah, so we do a lot of business here. We continue on with Jade Naomi. We get that tease, the passing in the ships at the beginning, and we have a new number one contender as well. The only thing, my only negative from this entire thing, and we did see later in the show as well, when we had the backstage one-on-one with Nia and Tiffy, and Nia reminds her, hey, I'm the number one contender. You don't got to worry about what the hell Charlotte was doing. Don't worry about anyone else in this division. Eyes on me because I'm coming for the prize. But again, with Tiffy, even on her entrance, and then the kudos to Nia. there is still zero reason to cheer for this bitch.
Oh, Jesus.
Is there?
Careful,
Where?
Rick.
Where?
I know what you're saying. I know what you mean.
She is a prissy, stuck-up valley
She's
girl.
a heel. She's a heel. You're right. I mean,
She's
stuck up for sure.
By every sense, we should dislike her. We want to see her get what is coming to her.
But the reason why people like her is because she's pretty good, dude. For a chick that hasn't been in the business for long at all, you know what I mean?
What's good? What's good? What's redeeming about
I'm talking about
character?
her in-ring abilities are good. Everything else, you're right, it's questionable.
No, the only thing good about her is her big old bouncing boobies. That's the only appeal to her.
She's got a big head, so it can't be her head.
Yeah, she has a giant head and giant titties.
Oh, we're such pricks.
But the character, the character, in what other form of entertainment, what movie, what even in life is she over? That she had that people love her that are flocking to her.
Well, Lizzie straight up, she went bang. She said they are only cheering for her is because she's blonde Barbie and they want to fluff her.
Yes, that's it. That is the only reasons that we should be cheering for her. They have not changed that character at all. There's nothing endearing about it. So, hey, for the most part, it's all right if she goes out there and Nia just squashes her. Because she's a stuck-up, entitled, valley girl.
I mean, look at this. I mean, the claws are out, guys. I mean, look, Bruce even says, let's not lie, Jimmy T. If Tiffany didn't look good, nobody wouldn't care. I mean, I guess. I mean, she's not the hottest friggin' thing, to be fair.
If Tiffy didn't have titty time, she's about as over as Bird Girl over on Raw.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a bit harsh. I mean, Frank's Pickle Barrel's ass says, what blonde hurt you, RBV?
Yeah, plenty of them. Plenty of them.
Liz says she's not an airhead, she's just a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Even Zane's saying, Liz, be nice. I mean, we caused a ruckus here in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I explain it to him. There's nothing likable about her except fun bags.
You know what? Liz brings up another great point. I mean, she goes on to say she wasn't as over on NXT until she got the boobs.
Right.
Then it was well and truly titty time.
There you go, man. I mean, gimmicks galore, and we'll give you more. That's what she's got there.
Well, gimmicks
so
galore,
a lot to open the show with the women's division. A lot to think about. A lot going forward there. So Absolutely. Very interesting. I like the pacing here. We got that block of women's action. Now we switch our gears. We got a new women's #1 contender. Jimmy, it appears that we have got a new tag team #1 contenders. We got the champs. The champs are out. The Street Profits. Again, with these guys, we're talking about knowing the character, knowing the direction so we can get a feel. We can gauge our emotions and how we're supposed to do things. These guys are going in and out of the baby, the heel.
Yeah, I mean, what are they now? They came across as absolute heels this time.
No, they were back and forth here again.
Oh yeah, they were back and forth. That's true.
I tell you what they are. They're in the midst of a shitty tag team championship run. That's what they are. Dawkins comes out and he drops a "Who Day," gets a mild reaction. News for you, he should know this, being from Cincinnati. Dayton's like the Mason-Dixon line in Ohio, to split the north to the south. So
Towards Kentucky.
Well, you got Kentucky below us, but yeah, Cincinnati, Kentucky, and Northern Kentucky and Southeast Indiana are like its own, like little, like weird tri-state hub. It's like its own state. Right. So when you get into the rest state and you just go 45 minutes up north to Dayton, not really Houday, not really Bengal country. Still a lot of Browns fans there. So that's kind of why that Houday went flat.
Okay, I see.
So then Ford thinks he's going to get a bigger pop. He knows what to do. I think they knew, because the Houday thing might not goes over. He's going to rally everybody, because everyone in the state of Ohio with any God-given sense is a Buckeyes fan. And we do the OHIO.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not going to hate on Ford here. I think he got a little excited He was so excited to get that huge pop to get over with that audience. He fucked it up. He said the wrong chant. And the crowd was like, what? Because you're supposed to do OH, and then you wait for IO.
Right. Exactly,
So he's like, oh, I got you. OHI. And he thought we were just going to yell, oh, but no. Oh, no.
Dawkins,
Botch.
you dork. He
Botch
deserves
on,
one of
botch
these
on
ones.
the mic. And I think he got excited. So I'm not going to hit him up too bad here. But as the champs are in the ring, we don't even really know what the hell they're there to talk about, are we? They're just there to hype themselves up.
About, bro? Really?
Well, they were trying to get a pop, and then they get interrupted, and we get SmackDown's newest team, Nathan Frazier and Fraxium, the former NXT Tag Team Champions. Hey, they burst on the scene. They've been making a name for themselves. They've been rising up the ranks for what? A whopping 2 weeks. And now they're out here with the champs.
Dude, you know what's messed up about the Profits, and I don't even know if it's their fault, because really it's not, right? Everything that's going on with them in the tag division is WWE dropping the ball on them. But I feel like they need to split these two guys now. The tag division is completely different for them, if that makes any sense. Everyone is small, dude. The whole tag division on SmackDown particularly are all friggin' 5'2" and unders, it feels like, dude. Like, they're just all small, and then you got the Profits.
Oh, you got your Pride Boys or whatever that you and Vet love.
Oh, the Yes
the models.
Boys.
Yeah, the Yes Boys. They're
Yes
giants. They're
pretty
giants
deadly
with everybody.
Yeah, they're pretty big
deadly.
too. They look pretty big for pretty deadly, but the problem is, of course they look big because everyone else is freaking small. So yeah, them two stand out. But the thing about Pretty Deadly, because their gimmick is so, you know what I mean, like so whatever.
Flamboyant.
Yeah, but just not even overly flamboyant. It's not flamboyant enough, if anything, if you know where I'm coming from. They just suit that little mini division right now. You know what I mean? Even though they are a lot bigger than everyone else, but everyone's too small. And the Gazas, yeah, only Berto. Berto's the only one that's probably tall.
No, that's not the problem. Is the size? It's just a terrible booking. Now I'm just convinced it's just not WWE. It's just not SmackDown. It's just not Raw. It's just not WWE. Tag team wrestling just sucks across the board. There's not a good tag team division anywhere.
So you're saying the talent totally sucks?
What?
You're saying the talent actually totally sucks?
No, the booking, the creative. No one knows what they're doing with this. There's plenty of talents out there. There's great tag teams out there in every promotion. But for whatever reason, when they try to push this stuff, try to bring it to a forefront to get people excited, it just falls completely completely short. It's a huge swing and a miss.
Completely short. I like it.
Yeah,
but it's true. It's true, man. I mean, I don't know what they got to do to fix this division, but
I don't know where, because apparently across the board, whoever's running tag team wrestling is an idiot. They're all idiots, or they just don't care about it. I mean, you had the Profits before they won these titles were freaking on fire. You know, we talked about it here on the show that for weeks, man, this is the right direction. Give them the ball and run with it. And as soon as they did, they're back out. They're happy-go-lucky. They're dancing around. They're pandering to the audience. They lost their edge. It's the same story over and over. But the match itself here. So now we've got a team. Instead of staying true to let's work our way up, going through the division, maybe taking on DIY, maybe taking on the Motor City Machine Guns. Nope. We don't have time for all that. We have got to just leapfrog everything here. You guys are going to go out there. We don't even know why the champs are out there talking. You're going to go out and interrupt them, get an impromptu match. In AEW, they call it the Eliminator. So you're going to get, if you get the win, you're going to just jump everybody. And, of course, you're in line for a championship opportunity.
That's how it works in AEW.
Yeah, well, it's how it works everywhere because it's how it works right here. So, yeah, Fraxium goes over. I will say kudos inside, putting the match together. A lot of athleticism. Each team hit their big spots, that the crowd recognizes, that the crowd's going to come alive for. And they did a pretty good job for the profits to playing to those injuries. You
you
saw Dawkins. How's their excuse? I mean, they're beat up, they're banged. They just went through a hellacious TLC match
to lose. I mean, like in terms of their booking,
you got them. You got the champs. Great, you got them. You can't take that away from them. But were they at their best? So that's the question. That's the doubt that you want to leave out there in the fans' minds that they didn't. They got them, but they weren't at their best. So is they really championship material?
Well, T and Kupina, aka Josh, has got the $1 million question, Rick. He wonders if the Street Profits will bring back the red solo cups.
No, hopefully not. They don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I want them to. They're more entertaining with the freaking cups.
No, they're not. They move on beyond that because that's just happy-go-lucky bullshit. We need serious fire from these guys. So, yeah. So they were kind of pricks to Fraxium. You know, you shouldn't get a match with us. Then they get the match.
Right.
They lose the match, and then they're shaking hands with them.
Yeah. I see. I don't like that either, man.
So again, they're all over the place.
If they got to be frustrated, surely the Street Profits, right? They don't come across like they are. But
well, they showed their frustration. They echoed their frustration in interview during WrestleMania week when they were left off the card. But there's only so much room. You got to you play the game that you're given, and that's what you got to do here. So you got to try to make the best out of it. But yeah, you would hope that they speak up a little bit and just recognize, hey, we need a little more direction and clarity in what the hell this team represents. But it does look like that going forward, we are going to get sooner than later. Fraxium been on the main roster all of 2 weeks. Going to be challenging the Profits there in the Blue Brand Tag Division. Speaking about being on the roster. Back on the roster, I guess, for all of about 2 weeks. We got Aleister Black. He's set up. He's going to be taking on Carmelo Hayes. And Hayes getting a big time pep talk from The Miz.
Right.
They're going over that. They're going to take care of business over this chump Black. You know, he's not welcome back because you know what? Because Carmelo is awesome, which is the stupidest catchphrase that I've ever heard.
How do you feel, by the way, for Mello in this spot with Miz? Do you think it works for him in the future?
Yes, I do. I
know he's going to turn on him eventually, obviously, but no.
I would hope maybe I don't like this pairing here with Black because they're obviously going to come out on the short end of the stick.
Right.
What I really do like in his character work here is, Mello, as you got him presented as that golden boy, Hollywood-esque, the good looks, the guy should be a leading man sort of role. I like the transition from Miz into the agent type. If we make that comparison to, let's say like Entourage, the old television show, where Miz could become Ari on the show, and Ari on Ari on the show is actually the Ari that runs this whole company.
That's true. That's actually true. Fun fact.
Yeah. So Miz could kind of be the on-screen version of that.
That'd be actually pretty interesting if they went down that route. But I don't know, man. Does Mello really? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where this goes anyway.
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so I like a little bit. I don't know. Jerry Maguire is kind of a puss, so I want a little more cool, edgier agent. But you get what I'm saying, have him go into that agent sort of thing. But with that, you're going to have the people that you pair with The Miz to show success. You've got all those ties. You're going to have those people actually start getting roles elsewhere, so that Miz's Hollywood connections are paying off or things like that. Or they're getting the advertising spots.
Hey, look, Josh says that it reached High RBV to book SmackDown. There you go.
There should be a coupon for that.
See what you did there. And speaking of coupons, if you're in the Tennessee area, Josh is your man. T and Coupon on YouTube. Go check that out. You won't be disappointed.
It's really all this Coca-Cola I'm hopped up on this morning. I'm drinking I've been up since like 5:30 and I've drank like 6 or 7 of those things so far.
Wow. Calm down, Rick. You
Yeah.
know your sugar level's going. Yeah,
Pump,
exactly.
baby. I'm pumping on this. I'm pumping on this caffeine, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So the match itself, again, we get Aleister Black. He goes over. He's defeated The Miz. This is his second match back. He's going to pick up the win here again. But, you know, do you think Miller looks real bad in this last year? Obviously, The Miz is the one who eats the black mass, man. And that, hey, I'll give him that, man. That was a devastating black mass that he ate in the post-match.
It was. I don't think it made Mello really look that bad, but it doesn't make even Aleister Black look that good, though, either. They're just stalling with him, I feel like.
Is there anything about his return that's making him look good? I mean, the vignettes haven't been there. They didn't really reintroduce anything. He came out, he's been going 50-50 in these things.
See what I mean, dude? Like, they're literally stalling. I truly think that they don't know what to do with him just yet. So this is what they're doing. You know what I mean? They should have had a plan before they even rehired him. You know what I mean?
And then you got over on Instagram, I saw this morning that he's with his beautiful wife, Zelina Vega, and they're doing, guess how many fingers I'm holding up?
That was stupid, dude. I saw that all over social media, and people are freaking making a deal out of it. It's fucking stupid.
Well, what are the people saying? I didn't read any comments. I just saw the thing. It's like, yes,
for example,
he's a great lord, a great dark figure.
Our very own, A-Check Brown was posting it on social media. That's how I saw it. You know what I mean?
Oh, what did he have to say about it? It's probably some sort of
nothing.
racist
He was
rant.
just like laughing about it. He's got this crew now. I don't know if you've noticed. He's the MF Doom of wrestling now, but it's like a crew of Doomers.
Yeah, they're Doomers, all right. The amazing racist, most racist dude I ever met.
He's very calculated, Rick, with all that shit. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. So we do have Aleister Black. Yeah, he'll probably start a petition that Black will have to change Aleister Black will have to change his name.
Oh God.
So we'll see. All right, so he's got 2 wins over both of them. We'll see where they up the ante, where they go from there in this little undercard feud. Not really doing anything for anybody inside of the program, but I am interested to maybe the potential evolution here of the Miz to see where he goes.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm not that interested, though. By the way, sorry.
Yeah, we've we've got black on black crime issues in this country, and in WWE, they've got brown on brown throwdowns.
Oof.
Mayhem in Little Mexico, brother.
It's blood out, Holmes.
Yeah, nobody's getting along with inside WWE of Hispanic descent. So we have got Rey Fenix and Andrade taking on Los Garza with Mr. Santos Escobar. We've got tensions inside of Los Garza, Escobar. No, he's kind of hot right now. Jimmy, where do you want to kind of start breaking all this down? Are all these guys just going to be maybe a big brother come in to get that hard backhand from Del Rio? Is that where we're going?
Oh my God, I was thinking that. I kid you not, I was thinking Del Rio. But no, truth is, could this be the future for Triple A? Like a future showcase of Triple A and these guys.
Well, I think
I can see those guys are going there.
Again, I know people are really excited about the merger and possibilities, potential, what's going to go on. I think people are getting overly excited about the involvement between these two brands, the merging of these cultures. To me, I'm hoping, out of the gate, they're going to want to promote this thing. Hey, we made this amazing purchase. There's a new product, a new brand with our stamp on it. We want you to check this out. But to me, the long game should be to keep AAA and WWE.
Right, and WWE always have those intentions. I mean, do you remember when they bought out WCW, for example? We're going to have a Nitro, and the brand split was going to be that, WCW and WWE, right? Not SmackDown and Raw. And what happened? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, they learned really fast that there is a difference in those fan bases. And I think if they overly push, if they try to incorporate AAA Lucha Libre into the WWE product, it's going to be rejected. The general audience for WWE is not going to like that stuff.
Lucha. Come on, bro.
No. I most of the times with these things, I had to force myself. I am kind of liking it, like the story here. We're getting some betrayal. Where's this going? So they do have me a little hooked. But if you just put on a Lucha Libre match, I will turn it. I am not a fan of it in any way. And I think there's a lot of individuals like me out there.
Oh, no, I'm not the biggest fan of Lucha Libre either. I mean, I don't want to watch just a whole bunch of no selling. Like, that's basically what it is. You know what I mean?
So I think this is a slow burn introduction to more of that style, to see, these matches all happening together before they try to roll anything out. But I think they're going to keep them separate. I think we're going to get a little bit of run, maybe through the summer, and then they're going to kind of just ease back into their own lanes.
Well, look, like Josh says in the chat, I mean, he says, don't forget $1,100 tickets for Worlds Collide. And that's already straight off the bat involving AAA.
Right. So, I mean, it's interesting because the NXT tickets typically are not going anywhere near that.
Gross. Saying
well,
T also hates Australian wrestling.
Everyone hates Australian wrestling.
Hey, Australian wrestlers actually some of the biggest luchadors, by the way, in Mexico. You'll be surprised. Look it up. I kid you not. No shit. Two of the biggest stars in Mexico at one point were Australians. They both passed away.
Why is that?
Funny enough.
Now why did they pass away? But why did they catch on there? What's the appeal?
Well, one of them was the Australian suicide, who just passed away in his
No, I don't care why they died.
No,
why were they such a big? Why were they
Suicide,
over?
the wrestler, Suicide. Remember Suicide?
Yeah, Christopher Daniels.
There's Kazarian as well. There was all sorts. That was the TNA suicide. In Mexico, there was an Australian suicide.
Oh, okay.
Look into it, man. You understand. But even before that, there was a big heavyweight Aussie dude that no one knew of here, but was big in Mexico for whatever reason, man. I forgot his name now, like his actual name that he was using in Mexico. But he passed away too, I guess. They don't even tell you what they really died of, man, which is weird. It comes up and then it's forgotten. Do you know what I mean?
Right. All right, class. You got your homework assignment. Go look up Australian luchadors and why they are loved.
Look it up.
We expect. I need a 500-word essay from every day. Right. I need you to write your essays, 500 words for next week.
Essays. I like
have
it.
those. Yeah, have those for next week. So anyway, in the match, we have the Phoenix hits the Adios Amigo Humberto.
Well, he screamed it out too. Adios, amigo.
With the message for the big win. It's Phoenix and Andrade. Baby's over. After the match, as I said, tensions there for the heels. Escobar, he's laying into Berto, man. Berto and Angel for losing the match, but especially Berto.
A little bitch right now, dude.
He doesn't know what's happening here. He's the middleman, but
freaking family, or legit family, or Santos. You're going to go with your family, are you not?
I don't know, man. You're trying to keep everything together. Maybe he's seen a bigger picture, but Berto, he is pissed. Berto storms off. And we get the end. We got that cliffhanger. So, again,
Los Lethargicos is what I say.
Mayhem in Little Mexico. We got to keep our eye on that. All right, Jimmy, to close it out is the last time in Dayton, Ohio. They get John Cena. He's gonna send it home. This is the go home to get you hyped, to get you ready. So we're gonna hold it. We're gonna switch gears here, buddy. We're gonna tell everybody. We're gonna get them excited. We're gonna take it to the next level. This is the hype machine. Backlash, baby. It is here. We are hours away. Where I'm sitting in a great state of the OHIO. About 7 hours away.
Not
7 hours away. OHI. And it was even funny because the Hawkins even looked at him like, bro, you fucked that up.
I looked bad. And the reaction, which was totally non-existent, was even better though.
Yes. All right. So we'll save John's talk here for when we get to the main event here. But all right, Jimmy, are you clear your head, Jimmy? Jack, clear your head, clear your mind. Let's get in a good mood. Let's get positive thoughts here, because it is the Backlash. We fresh off the heels of WrestleMania just under a month ago. The grandest show of them all.
2.5 weeks ago, dude.
2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, the showcase of Immortals. We saw John Cena retain. The big question, if Cody or John Cena takes the title there, but if Cody couldn't get the job done, if Cody couldn't put John Cena down and to stop him from potentially the forthcoming of his prophecy of being the last real champion, who could stop him? Well, we got our answer a couple weeks ago. His greatest rival, 25 years in the making, going all the way back to Ohio Valley Wrestling when they broke into this business together. These guys are not just generational talents. They have defined a quarter century. These guys have been at the top of the WWE going at it. And for perhaps the last time ever, Jimmy T, with the grandest prize in the game on the line, it's going to be main evented John Cena, the current reigning, defending 17-time world champion, putting it on the line again against his greatest rival, the Viper, the hometowner. They're in St. Louis, baby. You know it's gonna be crazy. They are going to be right for their guy, Randy Orton.
All the Vipers are going to come out from St. Louis.
Yeah, he is. He's been coming out from everywhere. They didn't think he was going to be in Dayton, but he made the trip from St. Louis. He was supposed to be at home with his family, getting that last-minute game study in, putting it together, rallying the masses there in St. Louis with the expected arrival of John Cena. You know what, man? We got 5 big matches we're going to talk about. We are here. We are hyped. Let's just talk about the main event right now, Jimmy. Let's talk about this build. Cena, he's here to ruin wrestling. He's not. The fans no longer deserve or earned anything from him. And of course, kind of the same message. Cena delivers it last night in Dayton. He runs them down with some hard truth. You know, Randy Orton.
They actually were truths. A lot of
why John's been hustle, loyalty, respect to this business. Randy's just been getting by.
It's actually true. I mean, what has been Randy's biggest flaw over the years? And we've always said it. All of us have said it. If he took the business serious when he was coming up, he could possibly be arguably the best to ever do it. But unfortunately, he wasted a lot of years just being on cruise control. But that's how good he is, though.
Hey, absolutely one of the best. You know, he is. Yes, so many of the legends. If you had the prototype, create a wrestler that you knew was going to be an absolute legend, not a legend killer, but the legend himself.
No, really, absolutely.
It's Randy Orton. That's what they said. So 100%. this here tonight, in one moment, one match, could be an opportunity for Randy to erase all of that.
The stakes are huge.
Hey, they've never been bigger. They've never been bigger.
In 25 years, never.
When have they been? This is it, the last time, man. This is potentially the last time these two go out there and hit that collar and elbow.
Absolutely. And Zane says Cena lied about one thing, though. I'll tell you what he did lie about, technically, the loyalty part. Randy Orton's definitely been pretty fucking loyal. And let's be real here, right? That was totally like, him being a goofy heel. Pretty much, if you know what I mean.
All right. Well, the Viper has struck multiple times. Put those fangs into Cena, but tonight he's going to have to inject that poison.
Which one, though?
Well, hey, that's what does Randy? Randy's been on the attack here. He's been, that laid it out, waiting for those attacks, been jumping Cena
straight out of the grass, man.
You gotta believe that now that it's go time, Cena's going to have the fence ready for that. He's going to have his own play here. What do you think? Do we get more? Is it Travis Scott? Do we introduce somebody else, a new wrinkle into the fold?
You know what? Scratch all of it. They've screwed it up, man. So probably nothing is going to happen. Cena's gonna somehow cheat his way, to to victory, other than someone running in. I mean, look, maybe Travis Scott, more than likely, possibly, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just nothing happens tonight on Backlash in terms of any surprises.
He's going to need to weasel his way out of this thing. Who could play it? I mean, who is going to want something here? Ultimate. Hey, I know you. Maybe he's here to prove you wrong. You have called him a fraud. You said he was faking. Maybe Kevin Owens makes a reemergence.
Oh well, I was. I didn't say he was a fraud. That's
we have got record on air here, the Hobby Media Group, of you personally attacking him, basically calling him a fraud on his injury.
Has he had his surgery yet? As far as I'm aware, he hasn't.
Okay, there you go. Well, I mean, who's got it out for Randy? Who could they enlist?
Dude, if you get that right, and I can see that for some reason, it makes total sense. Wow. If they do that.
We regularly talk about making a star. Obviously, Kevin Owens does not need to be made a star, but if you want to make somebody a heel, a villain,
and people talk about it, this is the way to do it.
You imagine? I mean, this might be an instance where we get trash thrown, not just a single empty beer bottle like last night. You want to see that thing rain with trash. You show up in St. Louis and you screw Randy Orton tonight. I like this. Gross bringing up Gross, our truth will help Cena retain. We've had those little Easter eggs.
Letdown, though. That's the real letdown part. If that happens, Jesus.
I'm still hoping we get Break-A-Wish, that at some point Cena just devastates our truth. And we see those two in a match at a Saturday night's main event. One, it ties together the childhood hero. You have to overtake him, the broken-hearted little Jimmy, but it pays back our truth, man, for just the years of brilliance that he has given the WWE universe.
Sure. Imagine you won the title just out of nowhere, dude.
No.
Imagine that. I know he won't. He won't. But imagine that will get people talking, man.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't.
It'll make the internet absolutely explode if that was to happen. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Positively or negatively, to be honest.
Well, let's go work for Crackhead.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy. So I think it's a Cena's match to lose. It could be huge. It could be a huge night for Randy Orton. We're going to see what happens. So they're going to have you on the edge of your seat. These guys are going to be so masterful in this storytelling. Be ready for a slow, maniacal pace match that keeps you going. It's going to teach you some highs, bring you down a little bit. It's going to be a full one. I'm looking forward to it.
Imagine it was Riddle that came in and fucked up Orton.
Man. Let's see. It's going to be interesting what we get there. I think we're going to get a nice little finish out of this thing.
Either way, Cena's walking out of there as champion again. He's not losing it.
I would agree. I would. It's in his favor. It's a chance to lose. He's got the advantage. Yeah, other big championship bouts. We got 3 other big championship bouts in addition to the undisputed WWE championship. I know you're looking forward to this one, man, because there is going to be a ton of meat. Fatal 4-way for the WWE United States Championship. Your boy, your new favorite, Jacob Fatu. It's going to be taking on LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. We got a little rewind here. Going back to SmackDown last night. Some good intrigue, I think, to update you, to get you excited about this one that we saw on the Blue brand last night. Of course, we had the big tag team opener with Solo and Jacob taking on LA and Priest. Baby's over. Solo eats that pin there. Post-match, though, we get the shenanigans where Jacob just starts mowing through LA Knight and Damian Priest, taking them down. But really jumps out here to me, which really the intriguing part of this match is Drew McIntyre. He's been sitting back. He's been waiting.
And I like what his promo too from SmackDown was actually pretty good.
He knows how to pick them bones.
Right.
And he hits the Claymore, and he's the one standing with the belt after that match and the melee that ensued.
Yeah, but if you want to go by Wrestling 101 though, Rick, the last man standing, like looking all victorious and shit,
this is deeper to me. There's deeper into the match. LA Knight, Damian Priest, more on the baby side here. They want to be righteous, outgoing champions. They're too hungry to get in there to show what they can do. You're in there with an absolute animal. There is no logic when you're taking on Jacob Fatu. You just got to go. You go into that son of a bitch ready for the fight of your life. You throw everything you got at it, and you hope you survive. That's how you handle Jacob Fatu.
I love him, dude. The only thing is, man, is it just me, Rick, or is he gaining some more weight though, man?
A little bit, maybe. Maybe skipped a cater or something here, but no, he looks all right to me. Looking devastating when he's throwing that weight around.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I feel like what he wears is a little too much.
Well, what are you at the Met Gala? What are we, a fashion show now?
No, but hey, wrestling is all about aesthetics too, though, man. You know what I mean? So,
I think it's in his body language. It's how it looks. It's not like any Samoan outside of Roman Reigns has ever been praised.
It doesn't bother me.
Physique.
It doesn't. Hey, I don't give a shit. I'm a huge fan of his. He's one of my favorites right now. But I'm looking at it from how WWE might look at it eventually.
Well, then it'll be like, hey, fat boy, lay off the Duncan. They're a great sponsor of ours. We'll put them down. Pick up a dumbbell. Put the donut down. Pick up a dumbbell. Let's get to work. Because he's out there working, and he is the animal. Those two, I don't think they're in that mindset, But Drew is the crafty veteran here. And that's the reason he was standing with that championship last night, because he realizes the type of animal, the untamed, the uncontrollable animal that Fatu is. And he is the wise, smart hunter. He's going to wait and pick his shots. And I think you're going to see him in this match kind of play that role. So he's the one that's going to hit those big shots. He's going after that big game instead of just sitting there trying to show that he's dominant. He knows it doesn't matter how you get it done. It's just a matter of getting it done. That's how Drew's going to come into the game plan trying to win this match.
I think Drew, even though he's presented maybe in his eyes possibly like chicken shit, I think he still always makes a play for himself though. Like after
he's not chicken shit. Drew's learned how to play this game.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Absolutely, he does, and I mean legitly, because he stood out. Out of all four guys right now, I feel like he stood out the most in this sort of rushed, thrown together sort of match, if you want to call it that, because it really is. You know what I mean? It only got interesting now, like on the Go Home show, really. Like where they actually did something half decent.
It's kind of, if you've been following this, these guys, we didn't realize I keep going the wheels, but even before WrestleMania, there was interaction between these guys. So now we've got it kind of coming together here, and I think even though Drew is that wise man in this match, LA Knight, Damian Priest may be pushing a little too much, giving up too much here. I think Fatu, as we said, man, he's going to mow him down. This is his moment. He is on the rise.
He will win, 100%.
It's going to be interesting. You got that wild card who has seemed a little upset with their interaction. Solo maybe not buying into to the game plan that Fatu doesn't need a game plan. Well, or doesn't like his, because his is just to go out there and hurt people.
I still think that he's going to help him win, though, instead of sort of causing him to lose.
I'd like to see him stay out of it. But let's just go out there and let these guys do what they do.
But I doubt they're going to do that.
Well, let's talk about a match that's probably going to have plenty of underhanded tactics and plenty of outside involvement. One of the hottest talents to take the WWE by storm in years. Penta. He's going to be throwing it up, and he's hopefully going to be throwing the champ down on his quest for the Intercontinental Championship. Of course, on the other side, he's gonna have his work cut out for him if he's gonna take down one dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, I don't see him losing the Intercontinental Championship just yet.
Of course, I mean, there's a lot going on here. Dirty Dom is going to have to live up to it. For him to hold on to this title, especially against a talent like Penta, he's going to have to be dirty. Triple D's.
Oh,
even bigger than Tiffy's. He's going to need some Triple D's continually, but especially in this match with Penta.
No, I 100% agree, man. But do you feel, is this the right move to already throw Penta into an IC title match that's more than likely he's going to lose?
He's earned it. He's been winning. He's on his hot streak. He is up there. The people want it. They're going to rally behind it. This is going to get a lot of heat here on Dirty Dom. It's going to be awesome. This crowd is going to be jumping for this thing. And if Penta can get this, man, I think it'll be good in a lot of areas pushing forward. But I see the chat over there. No way that Dirty Dom loses. Nah, Dirty Dom's losing this match. But he still will be.
Oh, well, yeah.
Your Intercontinental Champion.
That's what I said too in my predictions with Ray on Like a Raw, and you were there too. I said that Dominic will retain, but he won't win the match.
Champion's advantage. Advantage.
Facts.
All right. We were talking earlier about the new era, the old guard. Or eventually, is it going to come to a head? Well, we might get a preview of that. We got a big match. We've got what? The trainer, the trainee, the student, the mentor versus the mentor. The old wise one, the one that's been there, the one that's done it all, that set the way, that set the tone, that has helped shape the women's evolution. Pretty funny. Shaping the women's evolution. Only a man could do that. And
only a man could actually do that. It's true.
Yeah, it could only be a man to do that. The man, Becky Lynch, looking to become a Triple Crown winner, women's winner. She's going after that Intercontinental Championship, that Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra, Valkyra, Bird Girl.
Becky is
looking for a second chance to fly.
Becky will win this, but the long-term booking for these two is for Lyra to get her comeuppance probably at SummerSlam, and that's when they put her over.
I think this one is probably, Lyra's probably a little lost. She's got that heat. She's hungry. She's got that fire burning within her. We've seen her get the upper hand on Becky. I think in Becky's promos have been very on point, but again, they're continuing to fuel that fire.
Good, actually,
for Lyra, and it looks like she's on another level. She realizes she's got an upper game if she's going to hang with the man, one of the pioneers, the trailblazers,
the pioneers. Right, absolutely. Well, yeah. I mean, from dancing Irish styles to being a man suddenly. I mean, she was ahead of her time when you think about it, actually, Rick.
As Q Punter, I might have to agree with this one. Tonight, the bird is not the word. I think she's going to put on a tremendous showing. Lyra's going to recapture the attention of the world, of the universe. They're going to have positive things to say about her. But I think some way, somehow, Becky's going to get it done here. I'm giving this one to the veteran and her expertise.
Are you saying you're not going to be cooing along with Lyra?
She will not be flying high. The wings are going to be clipped.
Well, yeah, but like I said, I still think the end game is to eventually get Lyra over, just not tonight.
This is her second chance. Well, this is just a continuation, where this is going to be her journey, a hero's journey, a beginning of a hero's journey for her.
There has to be. I mean, and Lizzie's right, too. She says Lyra is meh. She isn't even over with a title, but that's exactly why they're going to do what they're going to do.
Do what they are going to do. All right, Jimmy.
Do what they're going to do.
What the world has been talking about. And this is the world. This is why they brought this match together. This is crossover, PR, pub, total love. They've been talking about this across the sports world, across entertainment. Getting the recognition. All eyes on WWE tonight. His former pro football all-star Named to the all-decade team of his era. Podcaster extraordinaire, ESPN personality, calls any kind of action, man. One of the most unique personalities in entertainment today. He's going to step into the squared circle one more time, and this time it is very personal. Very personal.
For whatever
very
reason.
personal for Pat McAfee. He's a loyal dog. You mess with one of his, you mess with the fam, you're going to get it.
Oh, God.
You're going to get it. And that no good, that low down, that son of a bitch, that Austrian asshole.
Oh.
Yeah. Gunther.
Yeah.
Gunther wants to put his hands on Michael Cole. Pat Mac's going to step up. Pat Mac is going to step up, and he is going to slap the bad taste, that bad attitude right out of the mouth of the ring general. But Gunther says he is redirected. He is reawakened. And it is only going to be by the grace of God that Pat McAfee survives tonight. It's Gunther versus Pat Mac.
Pat Mac. First of all, if Gunther doesn't get this done in pretty quick time, I think it's going to hurt him because of what he said on Raw a couple of weeks back when he done that promo.
Last week, this past week.
Oh, well, this past week feels longer for some reason.
Omaha.
In Omaha, yeah, in Nebraska, right. But if he doesn't win this pretty convincingly, I feel like it's not a good look for Gunther, man. I feel like it's going to hurt him.
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I really think it will actually affect him. But in saying that, I feel like if Gunther wins, which he should, right? I'm 98% sure he will. I feel like too many, now looking back at my predictions, I feel like I've put over way too many heels. And we can't have just heels all night winning, right? So maybe the Becky one is the one I'm worried about, my pick there.
Well, a little conversation back and forth with Adam Revolver in the Hameen Media group. You can be a part of that over on Facebook. Give us a look. If you're not a member yet, get your ass in there. All sorts of awesome conversation going on. But Adam Revolver, who's the famed tag team partner of Dr. Manbeast, Ted McNaylor. The Mobile Homers, that was a tag team. We were talking about this. Thought maybe it should be on a bigger stage, but it's the fight that makes the stage, not the stage that makes the fight, and that's what we're getting here. That in cases like this, it's usually better business to have the celebrity go over somehow to give them the win, because you're going to get just that better crossover. I don't know if that's necessarily here. I think we could do a lot of good business here. I don't think this needs to be as devastating, as dominating as most people expect. Again, Pat McAfee, trained by the one, the only Rip Rogers.
True.
Personal train. So, hey, it ain't like he doesn't know what he's doing walking into this lion's den.
Didn't he personally pick Rip Rogers, by the way?
Yeah. Went and bought a ring.
Shit.
Went and got a ring. Called Rip. Had personal training.
That's amazing.
Because he wanted to do this. He wanted to be here. This was his dream. He's living it. Sitting over there at the commentator table that he gets to be a part of it. But he's been forced. His hand has been forced. So he's going to be bringing it. He's going to bring his posse. He's going to be rallied with his boys, his family, that support system. They're going to be believing. And sometimes that's all you need is for people to believe in you, to have that support. That fires up that fight inside of you. He's going to bring that. I think he's going to bring the people to their feet.
Yeah,
he's going to get some shots.
He's going to get choked out to a rousing ovation. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
he's not going to give up.
You know what you do in the NFL, how you get better, especially sitting there in that war room, going week to week, getting ready for battle with Peyton Manning. You're on film. You know everything about your opponent.
A punter for crying out loud?
That means he had plenty of time to watch film. Plenty of time to watch film with Peyton Manning. So that's what you're doing. That's what he's been doing all week. He told him.
Oh, that was good.
He had a front row seat on all that. He's got that film in the Thunderdome, watching it. He's figured out. He's watched what Sami Zayn did. He's watched what Jey Uso did. He's found the weaknesses, the soft spots in Walter.
You're hyping me up now, Rick. I'm getting hyped.
I'm telling you, baby. He's going to have that fight. He's going to be bringing it. Now, with that, I do agree with you. It's going to be a little too much, you know. That Rudy story only gets you so far.
Right. I mean,
then the ring general is going to kick in. He's going to realize he's going to settle down. This is a real fight. He's got something to prove. He's already been embarrassed once within the month. Devastated at WrestleMania.
Before you continue, now I just thought about it. I think he's going to not let go of his chokehold, right? And then ends up losing via disqualification.
Maybe it was just a disqualification stoppage. I don't know about that, but as I pitched over, I think it would be a nice little touch that maybe Michael Cole has to throw a towel in. That Pat won't give up.
I can see that.
For his friend.
Too, yeah.
That Cole has to throw the towel in. Maybe there's a ref stoppage. I think that in either case, and if you guys heard me say this on Tuesday, I apologize, but I believe this deep down in my soul. Pat Mac's going to be laid out there. Who can help? What's going to happen? Are you ready?
You ready, Jimmy?
Dramatic. You ready? Sure. You ready? You ready, Jimmy?
I'm ready.
Hit that drum roll, because you know, Goldberg. Goldberg. Goldberg.
Imagine that, bro. If you called that one, that's it.
Saint lunatics are going to
lunatics are going to go loony.
We're going down, baby. Goldberg going over. Yeah.
Stop it. Don't conjure this shit, please. No. Josh, don't you dare. If we get Goldberg if it was in Atlanta, maybe.
Nah, man.
Oh, yeah. You know what, though? They are Goldberg versus Gunther SummerSlam.
Right. There you go.
Weren't they building towards that initially?
Well,
they want to do that?
They had teased some things there.
They did.
And you look at where do we have going forward with Gunther? What is there? Again, right now, beyond championships, you have very personal feuds, or you have star-powered programs. So you go from Pat McAfee with the crossover with, just mentioning Gunther on the Pat McAfee show, it puts more attention on him than anything Raw's doing.
Absolutely.
You have that there. Right. And now you have that past to present nostalgia tie over here with Goldberg. Hey, man, and it's the ultimate. You want long-term storytelling? The Jews finally getting theirs against the Austrian guy.
I was going to say that, but you beat me to it, but I didn't want to say it. But I mean, it right to self, does it not? I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's ridiculous, right? And
the only thing we could do to get more offensive than pointing at Jewish versus the Australian guys if we put it in an elimination chamber.
Or a boiler room match.
Yeah. Get this over to Channel Attitude as fast as we can so we don't get any strikes.
God. Sorry to anyone listening. We're just fucking around. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Blame WWE. Blame WWE for even making us think this way.
Yes, they're all backhanded comments, so we're fine. But no, hey, this has been a big match. This has been one of the two. There we go. Mike Martin, ESPN did a spotlight segment on Pat and Gunther. Look at that. Look at that. That pays off itself.
I saw a little bit of that. I didn't watch
Where else do you see that? Where else do you see that?
You're right. I mean, spot on, Mikey. I mean, they are making I know ESPN is making it kind of a big deal, dude. And I can understand that. Of course, it's one of their own. Yeah. Right, for sure.
So
definitely, it's intriguing. The match is intriguing. It'll be entertaining, I'm sure. But if it leads to Goldberg, man, and you know what? And it makes sense if it goes that way. Totally, because they were teasing Gunther versus Goldberg from what? A year and a half ago?
Right. So you get that tease, baby. So
I just don't want to see Goldberg again, though, at this age, man.
It ain't about what you want. It's about
I know, I get it, but fuck. We'll see. Could it be Lesnar?
I heard some rumblings that somehow they were going to tie Scott Steiner in. So there's going to be something here. We're looking forward to it. That's one of the big selling matches. I'm going to be pumped for this one. This is the match I'm tuning in for. I'm looking forward to Cena and Orton.
Most intrigue. It definitely has the most intrigue.
Cena and Orton. interested in the ladies, interested across the board. I like
That's what I'm
this.
saying,
I like
dude.
odd matches. Get me in, get me out.
And that's what I mean. It might not look like the strongest card on paper, but when you really think about it, it should still be a fun show, man, because they always put on great PLEs generally. You know what I mean?
Yep. So it's St. Louis, always a great crowd. They love their sports.
The St. Lunatics will be out in force.
St. Lunatics will be going crazy, baby.
Oh boy.
Riding
first
class, sitting next to Vanna White all night. That's the tempo, the high energy we're going to have. St. Lunatics. They're going to be ready for the big close with Randy Orton. Going to shock the world, claim a new championship for himself. What's Cena going to do? What crazy antics? What lows is he going to sink to this time to retain that championship and deprive the wrestling fans as he continues to ruin professional wrestling? Can Becky get that triple crown? Add that trophy to her trophy case on the resume? Can Bird Girl fly to new heights? Surprise everybody.
I love the hype.
Where is Judgment Day? Yeah. Is Dirty Dom the new ruler there? Where is Finn's head? Is there jealousy? Are they going to be able to stay together as a cohesive unit to make sure that they retain the gold? Is it going to be different without Liv there? You know, that's a game changer. She's off making movies, baby. You know,
she is. Absolutely.
She's a game changer. And how much meat? How much meat? Meat. Will Jacob Fatu consume? A lot of protein in that match. A lot of protein.
A lot of gas too, I'm sure, but just no breaks.
Hey, if you're running out of gas, I suggest just picking up a 12-pack of Coca-Cola and just chugging that shit. I'm going to take a couple-hour break here, man. I'm going to have a few more Coca-Colas because, hey, we're just getting your day going here on the Smack Attack. Jimmy T and RBV. We've set the stage. We've got the hype. Hope you're feeling all right, ready for tonight. Make sure you tune in back here to the channel. Tune in back to the channel. Let's go, Brandon. Never knew he was going to be joining him. Might be one of us. Might be the vet.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to jump on and watch along?
A little bit. I'm probably not going to do the entire thing just because I don't want to have to talk about it for 5 hours.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm ifing and ahhing about it too. Yeah, I might jump in for a little bit too, but I might as well save most of my talking for the post show.
There we go. Lyra should have a pair. We should just change her name to Lyra Beware. See if she can get it done against
Lyra
Becky.
Beware.
But
and
of course,
instead of Frankie, it's Cranky.
Yes. And of course, GBT and I will be back. Maybe with a guy named John Paz, maybe with whoever you don't know later on tonight to break this all down. See what was right, see what we got right, see what we got wrong, and see where WWE is going.
Yeah, well, I'm hyped. You hyped me. You managed to get me more hyped than WWE did. So there you go. But in saying that, Rick, I guess we're gonna take it home till later on. But tell them what you're doing, even though you kind of did. But tell them where they can find you. More importantly,
now you can find me right here on the channel. But yeah, I'm the ultimate shill man, baby. I'm a hype guy. It's what I do. I'll get you higher than Tony Khan's supplier, baby.
Ooh,
get us out of here.
There you go. Nice. Well, yeah, you know the drill at this point, man. Follow me at DJ Mass Effects, but please share this show around. Tell everybody. Tell a friend. We'll tell another friend, and whatever. Keep telling everybody to share this stuff around at Hummy Media Group's YouTube channel. We've always got great content, of course, and of course, channelattitude.com. Where $5 only do you get the realest, but the best talk in all of pro wrestling. So in saying that, till later, I am your host, Jimmy T. He is, or was, my co-host, R to the B to the V. And I thank everybody that's joined us in the chat. You've all been wonderful as per usual. And hopefully we see you later on for the Backlash post-game show right after the pay-per-view with myself and Rick. And who knows, we could have even guests. We'll see. But till then, we'll see you soon. Peace.
Parlez-vous français? Tell all the girls the Rougeau's on their way. Don't call us pretty boys. We're not a musclehead. We hate that long hair look. We like the preppy look instead. We're all American boys. All American boys. We're all American boys. All American boys. We don't like heavy metal. We don't like rock and roll. All we like to listen to is Barry Manilow. On peut pas les sentir. Dans le monde ils sont les pires. On aime les faire fâcher quand on dit we love the USA. Hey! We're all American boys. All American boys. 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 We're all American boys. All
Ding dong. Hello?
Yes, that's right, infidels. You found us here, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, where you get the most real talk, the best reviews of all your favorite wrestling shows from AEW and WWE, Impact, and more, because we're going to break it all down with the best staff in professional wrestling at HMG. So you don't need to go anywhere else, because there's no 5 stars here. There's only $5 face slaps, infidel. So sign up today, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, and join the Hameen Army for the most real talk in professional wrestling. YOLO!
This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your freedom.